Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tejas here from Aussizz Group. I'm a registered migration agent with Aussizz Group. We are doing an Ask Aussizz session today, so you can ask different questions regarding migration, and I can try my best in regards to answering those questions. Please note the questions and answers will be general in nature, so the advice is not specific to your particular case. We need much more information in regards to the detailed information to understand the specific case in order to assist more in detail. But then in this session, you can ask different questions regarding state nomination, employer-sponsored partner visa, parent visa, or anything in particular. And I'll try my best in regards to answering those questions. So Ask Aussizz is a session we bring in every week in order to assist international students and temporary migrants to answer a lot of questions they have in regards to the visa journey. So you can ask your questions on any of our platforms, and we should be able to assist you with those questions. Now, while I wait for people to join and ask questions, I can also recommend you to join our upcoming events in Adelaide. So that we have a few events, which is the Education Expo and also a Resume workshop, which is happening in first week of August. So go on our Facebook page or any of the social media page and check out the dates, the details, and everything about Latin Education Fair and also the Resume workshop, which we are bringing in for international students to understand and create a good working resume for them to get a job in the current market. If we talk about state nomination and the criteria, so I'll just quickly run through what's happening with the state nominations right now. Most of the states have not announced their criteria and have not started their allocations as in the process for nomination of 190 or 491, except few states. So WA has already started accepting the new EOIs, and they will be doing the first invitation round in first week of August. So by next week or week after, we'll have an update in regards to uh, Western Australia's 190 or 491. Whereas Northern Territory is also processing onshore applicants. So you need to be working and living in Northern Territory if you want to be invited by Northern Territory government. ACT has been accepting ROIs for their own metric system as well. So you can also apply for ACT if you're currently living and working in ACT as well. But other big states, except Western Australia, other big states such as New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, we are still waiting for them to announce their state migration criteria in order to apply for your 190 or 491. One of the common question I do get asked for right nowadays from a lot of students is what are the options if the current 485 is running out and they cannot renew the 485. So if you cannot apply for your state nomination 190 or 491, the other option you can also explore is either an employer-sponsored visa, which is the 482, or you can also explore a training visa if you meet the requirements, which is 407 visa. These two visas can lead you towards a pathway with a permanent residency, directly or indirectly. When I say directly, is the 482 leads you to 186. 407, there is no permanent visa pathway, but then you can eventually apply for your state nomination or 482 visa through the 407 if you're eligible through that route. So if you are stuck with a less amount of 485 time, then you should explore this visa options through different streams and employer sponsored specifically. That can be helpful. Now, government is also launching a new visa, which we got the information today. It's called it's part of the 408 visa stream, and it is especially for the workplace justice. So they're reforming migrants exploitation laws, and then if someone is meeting the requirements they are setting out in the legislation, they will be able to apply for a 408 visa under the stream called this workplace justice visa, which allows them additional time while their workplace matter is under investigation and under process. More information will be announced around this visa in the future, as in some time. So you should be able to explore that option if you have any of those issues. In regards to the employer-sponsored visa, from November, the requirements changing from 2 years experience to 1 year. So if any of you are currently working full time, an employer is willing to sponsor you, the role you're doing meeting the dismissal requirement, which is 73,000 or higher, then you can apply for your 482 visa, which leads you towards a permanent residency, which is 186 visa through the pathway. Another hot topic right now around Australia is also Dharma. So Western Australia has their own Dharma program now. So currently our office in WA is doing a special session on Dharma, and a lot of people are attending that session right now. South Australia has Dharma program, Western Australia has Dharma program now. Queensland also has a Dharma program. Um, New South Wales have Rana running the Dharma as well. Victoria has Dharma as well. So if you are based in any of these areas where you have an option to explore your occupation through Dharma, then you should definitely look into that pathway as well, because some occupation which might be lower skilled, but then it also leads to a 482 visa through Dharma agreement, such as carers, some of the hospitality workers, some of the production workers as well, some of the construction trade workers as well. They are level 3 or level 4, but then they can still apply for the 482 visa under the Dharma agreement. So if you have an employer who is willing to go through the process and you are working full time, you meet the income requirements, then you should definitely consider this as an option. You can work around different options, but then keep your all options open. I've got one question from Jigar about Victoria State nomination. Victoria Wilder 70 points for 189. What are the chances for 189 visa? Very good chances, Jigar, because 189 is going to be a periodic invitation now. But some of the occupations they want to target is the manufacturing and construction industry. Welder is one of the very popular and very good occupation you can focus on. So 70 points, you can expect an invitation from 189 if they do invite in the future. But you can also apply for your state nomination ROI for 190 or 491, and that can happen in the near future as well. So anyone who is joining now, this is an Ask Aussizz session. So we are just answering some of the live questions. So if you have any questions regarding a migration journey, either skill migration, employer sponsored, partner visa, parent visa, child visa, any visas around Australia, I'll try my best to answer those questions. It will be general in nature, so I need as much as possible information to be more specific about your case. Got another question from Sai Kumar about planning for February intake 2025. So I guess Sai is planning to study in Australia in 2025, which is fine. Sai, you should be able to get your visa sorted before obviously February, so you can join. Keep in mind that obviously choosing the right course and the right city matters a lot, because the state nomination programs also is one of the core where it leads you towards a permanent visa pathways from there. So you need to understand when we're choosing the right course, we also need to understand, are we choosing the right city as well? Because studying in bigger cities like Melbourne and Sydney, it gives you a great exposure, but then it doesn't give you straight migration pathways. So you might want to study, let's say, in Adelaide or Perth or Tasmania or Darwin, Northern Territory. It gets you a permanent visa sorted relatively quicker if you are planning to stay back. And then you can look into shifting around Australia, either in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, or any other states or cities. So it's very important to plan your not just your course, but then also the place where you're going to be studying. Got a question from Sandhya is cafe restaurant manager, 75 points, 190 New South Wales. Sandhya is very competitive occupation. 75 points might not be really good enough for New South Wales to invite you. New South Wales has an additional allocation, so 3,000 for 190, 2,000 for 491, which is good allocation compared to last year. Obviously, it was very similar for New South Wales, but then um, your occupation as an hospitality manager at 75 points, it might be very competitive. So you should be increasing some points if possible, if you want to be selected for 119 specific as well. Abdul is asking how long is taking for 186 visa. So Abdul, 186 depends which stream you apply. If you are applying through ENS direct entry stream, even in direct entry, the nomination is getting processed very fast. The recent nominations we got through are about 2 months or 3 months. Transitional stream, again, same time, but then the visa is taking a longer time than the nomination. So average is between 6 to 9 months. That's the average time for us to get through the 186. Ranjan is asking, how long does it take to grant the aged care labor agreement 482 visa nowadays? Will they accept PT for English? Ranjan, in regards to grant visa processing, then it is between 2 to 3 months. As long as you are around that time, you'll be fine. In regards to meeting the English requirement, yes, you can meet the English requirement through IELTS, PT, or any other accepted mode of English by Department of Home Affairs. So anyone who is planning to apply for the state nomination in 2023, 24, 25, they should be making sure that they work full time, because I think the shift is focused. The state nomination focus is primarily on employment for most of the states, and obviously the full-time employment in your nominated occupation. So as long as you have a job in your field, then your chances is higher. Sayed is asking motor mechanic 189, 75 points, New South Wales, WA, what are the chances? Look, New South Wales, 491 good chances if you are living and working in regional full time, meeting the testament requirements as the requirements for the income. WA, if you're not living there, the chances are lower, even though they're saying they will equally weight the interstate applicants, but then most of the applicants they would be selecting would be still the applicants who are living in WA itself. So they will be picky. So you need to balance out your options. Crucilo is asking about the Dharma program in WA. Uh, your question is not detailed, so but then what is Dharma? So Dharma is a designated area migration agreement. It's between WA government and Department of Home Affairs. So WA government will endorse the businesses to enter into a labor agreement with Department of Home Affairs, and then they will have a labor agreement to start sponsoring people on temporary visas like 482 or 494. It's new for WA, but then it's not new in general. Northern Territory, South Australia, and all other states, they have been doing these Dharma programs for some time now. So the occupation is quite large, and also the skill level. Some occupations have skill level 3 and 4 as well. So you have a wider choice of occupations in Dharma program, and also um, your experience exemptions are there as well, and also age and English exemptions are there as well. So on occupation to occupation base, you can meet the requirements if we talk about either WA or any state's Dharma program as well. Ashim is asking developer programmer 3 years experience onshore, 85 points. Haven't got a skilled partner. What are the chances of getting an invite for Victoria? Good chances Victoria, assume for Victoria 190 this year, because they've got enough allocation for the whole year. The focus we should be doing is the highest possible salary. So because you don't have a skilled partner, then the other factor they will be looking at is the annual salary. So the more you have, it's better. Amir is asking 75 points electrical engineer. Amir, you didn't specify the questions very detailed, but then If it's regarding 189 visa, then 75 points might not be enough. You need higher points, higher than 75, unfortunately. People is asking about 100 points for 190, 95 for 189 software engineer. Look, people, that's my personal belief that most of the IT occupation will be still managed through state sponsorship. Whatever the occupation they will be inviting in IT through 189 will be always about 100 points for 189, which means 95 independent points and 5 points for the experience. So the more points you have, it's always better if you want to target the 189. There would be invitation round for 189, but then how many we don't know, because if any of you have checked my one of the previous videos, I did mention that because of that previous 189 round, a lot of ceilings, as in the allocation, will be used for this financial year because they carry forward the ongoing lodged application into the new financial year. So I believe the remaining seats will be lower, not what you can see on the department's website. So I believe the 189 round will be again very selective in regards to the points and everything. Manan is asking about 190 for 90 points, doing the job in the same field. Yes, Manan, as long as you have a skilled job, good chances for 190, depending on what state you are currently living and working. Amir is asking about electrical engineer, 491WA. I'm now in Melbourne. Any expectation for getting a nomination? Amir, there is, but then again, as far as I see, they will still prioritize the applicants who are living and working in WA compared to the interstate applicants, unless and until the occupation is so high in demand, where there is no enough EOIs they're receiving. Carolina is asking about some part-time jobs for PR. Not, sorry, I couldn't understand your question. But then if it's about a job, part-time job for the skill migration, then you need normally more than 20 hours a week. But most of the states now preferring full-time. Part-time is not accepted. So ideally 30 plus hours or 38 hours a week is good. Hemant, if you meet the ACT's metrics requirement, then yes, it has very good chances to get the invitation for 190. Vivek is asking about telecommunication engineering occupation for Victoria, 90 points. So if you are having a job in Victoria and the salary is higher, then yes, you can expect an invite this financial year, especially if you have a partner, skilled partner can make a difference in regards to the state nomination. Yogina, if you're an architectural draft person, very good profile, as long as you have full-time job, we can expect an invite this year. SA has not announced if they will be using the previous financial year's requirement, which is basically prioritizing the applicants with visa expiry and the age and all those kind of things. As long as they don't do that, then it's good. You have a good chance to get invited this year. I hope they won't do that because it actually doesn't give enough benefit to the other applicants who are actually higher points or have been working in industry for a longer time. I believe they will be just focusing on the ranking based system. Offshore applicant 100 points, occupation is a software engineer. Any ACJ, to be honest, software engineering is very competitive occupation. So chance of getting invitation is quite slim. If you have a longer experience and have an employer willing to give you a job, then employer sponsor visa could be faster for you. WA will be doing the first invite in first week of August, so you can expect updates from them. Yeah. Skill assessment in judicial and other legal professional, 0.75. What are the chances to get invited in South Australia? Maybe yes, good chances as long as you continue working full time. As long as South Australia doesn't prioritize the applicant with the visa expiry first, then you should be good in regards to the occupation itself, because it's not a very competitive occupation. Share 491 regional Victoria chances are very good if you have full-time job, especially skill partner can boost up your profile. But then regional Victoria 491 is good chances this year, especially with 2000 allocations. Jokta Dorji, 65 points, SA motor mechanic. Um, Motor mechanic is again a competitive occupation, but as long as you're working full-time in regional, then your chances are higher. You might not be like selected for 190, but then 491 can be an option for you. Vivek, 190 for telecommunication or computer and system engineer. So Vivek, it depends on your bachelor or master's, not both occupations have different requirement in terms of the skill assessment. So you need to understand which occupation through which qualification itself. Onshore reach a pharmacist with 80 points, New South Wales, 90 points for 491 without job. Taliwa chances are slim because you don't have a job in your field. But again, if you increase your points, then New South Wales can invite you for sure, because they have invited in the past for applicants who are not working, but then they have the applicants who have a higher points. Jacinta is asking if I'm 35 plus, I'm a nursing student in my final year, what visa can I apply for after studying, looking at RN mental health? So Jacinta, you can apply for 407 visa, training visa, if you have an employer who is willing to take you on board. They can draft a training plan, and then you can train. You can get trained under like experienced RN. If you are looking for such opportunity, then reach out to us. We do have few employers in regional South Australia who's looking for RNs in multiple areas, especially aged care industry. If you want to work in that area, we do not have anything in mental health, but then RN, there's always some jobs out there. So just look around and you should be able to find an option. Guru, will I get a partner visa if I'm 6 months old relation? What documents? Guru, I didn't get your question regarding partner visa. If it's for the partner visa 820, then you need to either be married, or you need to be in a de facto relationship, or you need to have the relationship which is registered. So I would either get some more information, or speak to one of our staff member in nearest office, and they should be able to understand your profile, because partner visa is very crucial, especially in this kind of situation where your relationship is not more than 12 months old. Yeah. A question from Vivek. Vivian, how much does it take to get 482 nomination approval? Applied in vehicle occupation 2.5 months ago. Lodged 482 nomination, but haven't heard. Even it's in general, they're pretty quick nowadays. They do process within a few weeks. So 2.5 months is a bit surprising for us, because averagely it is not that long, unless there is any documents request, or they want to assess the application more in detail. Vipu is asking about electrical engineering, 75 points. Next year, visa is expiring. Any chance to get invite? Yes, we go, as long as the immigration essay doesn't prioritize the applicant on base of visa expiry, but then they prioritize the applicant on base of the number of years of experience, total points. But we are waiting for that announcement to come out to understand how they're gonna rank the profiles, and how they're gonna be selecting those applicants. So Mustafa is asking about visa expiring in September. Applied for a student visa, apply for a visa in SA, but it still shows lodged, not accepted or rejected. Will I get an invite? When can we expect? Mustafa, if you have lodged an ROI and still pending, they might process the lodged pending ROIs for the applicants whose visa is expiring in September soon. But it does not guarantee a positive outcome because there are a lot of applicants still having their application pending, especially the applicants whose visa is expiring in September. So we just need to wait for some more information regards to the state nomination criteria. Anyone who has joined the sessions recently or joining now, this is an Ask Aussizz session where you can ask different questions about your migration process. If you have any questions around skill migration, skill assessment, employer-sponsored partner visa, parent visa, child visa, any visa around Australia, you can ask your questions here and we'll be able to assist as much as we can. In case of 100 points, 190, again, it will be highly chance software engineer. So either software developer or developer programmer or something similar, or around ICT security level. So in regards to there were a few questions earlier about 189 visas. As I mentioned earlier, 189 again, there would be some ongoing rounds, but then um, the allocation for the rest of the financial year is not that significant because they already used some of them. So you need to have a plan B. You don't just rely on 189. There could be a waiting. So I believe we should have a plan B, which is 190 or 491 along with the 189 EOI. Ricky is asking, chance of getting student visa rejected has increased. Is it good time to apply for offshore? Which other option we can go for? Yeah, look, right now the government has rejected a lot of applicants who are genuine as well, but then reason didn't make sense. There were a lot of unfair refusals, and there is a lot of discussion within the government about this. Um, it's not really a great time to apply for a student visa in Australia right now. But again, if you have a really good profile, you're applying for assessment level one university, then you still have a very good chance to get the invitation, as in the visa grant. So you should consider the selection of the provider and also the states. Other option can be depending on your experience, if you have an employer who is sponsoring you or similar level. But if you don't have that, then the study is another option. Um, yeah, because in regards to the unfair refusal, there has been a lot of visa refused without a solid explanation from the government, as in the assessment officer, simply around that they don't think you are genuine enough to go back home, which is not true. A lot of applicants have shown, demonstrated enough financial, academics, social ties, economical ties to the home country as well. But still, they got the visa refusal, which is very sad for them because it impacts on the future temporary visa application. Um, Lisa, I didn't understand your question. Will the part-time requirements go away this year? So if you can elaborate the question a bit more, then I can help you out understanding and answering that question. My tourist visa got rejected as they said they don't believe I'll have a genuine reason. Yes, Jess, you can apply for a tourist visa again, but then it all depends on the documentations, as in if there is any changes in the circumstances. If there is any significant changes in the circumstances, then only you need to you can apply for again. Otherwise, they will still refuse it on the same grounds that you might not be a genuine student or genuine entrant. As long as you can provide additional documentations, then yes, you can definitely apply again. Um, got a question from Supreet. 70 points for 189, 75 points for 190, 85 points for 491 electrical engineer. What is the chances? Supreet, I don't know if you have mentioned about the job. If you're working in an occupation which is electrical engineer or closely related, and depending on also the states where you're living and working, the chances are there to get invitation for 190 or 491. 70 points 189, chances are lesser. Stephanie is asking if an offshore applicant, do I have to be in Australia first or can I apply offshore, then fly to Australia? Yes, you can. So you can apply for the 482 visa while you are offshore. And once the visa is granted, you can apply, you can come to Australia. And that's how the normal visas are designed for. So any employer sponsored visa is primarily designed to bring in skilled overseas worker in Australia. You don't really need to be in Australia to apply for the 482. You can be offshore as well. Suraj, no, they keep the same EOIs running. So if you have already launched it, you can keep the same EOI. If you need any assistance, you can just get in touch with our offices. Yeah, I've got a few more questions. Preet is asking when can we expect South Australia to start clearing out last year's pending invites, according to you. Preet, I don't know which one you're referring to, but then there is very less number of ROIs pending in the system for South Australia. Most of the other ROIs they've actually finalized as not invited already in June. So the only ones which are left are the applicants whose visa is expiring in September itself. Is this course advanced diploma of IT eligible for the 485 visa? Also, can I lodge the visa while waiting for the skill assessment? Thank you. Aliza, yes, it can lead you towards the 485 visa, and you need to have applied for your skill assessment before you apply for your 485 visa. Um, what is the best month to finish skill assessment and apply for PR when the government of SA opens EOI? Is SA still considering skill points to apply for the PR? In terms of the best time, it's anything between August to December. So as long as you apply within this period, then it gives you higher chances. Then also it will be there, but then it just the requirement can keep on changing depending on the occupation to occupation. Is PSW visa given for students who complete bachelor next year or other changes? Post-study work rights is still there. It's just that they've reduced the duration from earlier, the larger duration of 3 to 5 years, depending on the country or passport you hold, to now 2 years only. You would be eligible for the regional extension if you are studying in regional, depending on your university. But then, yes, you have an option to apply for your 485 in the future. Do I need to be working 6 months in a row to be able to apply for SA 190, or can I take a leave? Yeah, so you need to have an ongoing job. If you are taking a leave, the leaves should be paid leaves. Unpaid leave and unpaid, break in between the jobs, unexplained break would be not good for your application. So always prefer to have a paid leaves or not to have leaves. So Roj, 190 for New South Wales is good chances, 75 points. It means you might have 70 points for 189 as well, so you might be even invited for 189. For a 35 years old mechanical engineer with computer and English, 8 years of experience, master's degree, what could be typical points look like? It will be somewhere around 80, 85 points, depending on, if you can increase the points through English and the partner points. But then, yeah, 8 years experience can help you with the state nomination. Jyoti, we are also waiting for South Australia to announce more details about 190,491. So, high chance we will have some updates next week in regards to the 190 or 491 for South Australia State. New South Wales 190 invite round. It can be in September or even earlier, as long as they finalize the state nomination. As long as there is no changes, then it's fine. People who have joined recently or joining now, if you still have any questions regarding state nominations, skill assessment, employer sponsored, you can leave those questions in the comment section and we will be able to understand the question and answer you those questions. Mog, if you are taking unpaid leaves, which is longer, then yes, your 6 months will count from the date of the last commencement, and then you can apply for your state nomination. Vivek, about the assessment, telecommunication field engineer or the computer system and network engineer, which one? So CNSC is good occupation. If you are working in that occupation, you can explore that option. What are the chances of getting invited for New South Wales 190 for ICT security specialist without experience? Almost a nil chance because state nominations, most of the states are prioritizing applicants who's already working in the field. Only points will not matter a lot. What is the chance of ICT business analyst with 90 points? And strict depends on the state, but 90 points are good, but then you need job as well. So as long as you have a full-time job, your chances are good. Shiran is what are the chances for civil engineering draft person living in WA? Very good chances, Shiran. I think as soon as the state government in WA starts announcing the state nomination early next month, you will see a lot of invites in the construction occupations. Retail pharmacy is a good occupation, but then try to get a job if you want to increase your chances to get the 190 or 491. Because without job, the invitation gets harder. Electronics and communication engineer with 3 years experience, 70 points. Offshore applicant, not much chances because you have less points. 70 points is not a great number in regards to being an offshore applicant. So try to increase the points to at least 85 to 90 minimum. There are some more questions coming in. So if you're asking a question or thinking to ask a question, just try to be more as much as detailed as possible. So the more details you can provide, the easier for me to understand the profile and then assist you with your inquiries in general. Um, got a question for Pushpinder, ICT business analyst, 85 points, including state Victoria, working in the field above 100,000. Single profession English without NATI. Pushpinder, good profile with the job, but the more you have, it's better. So try to increase your points for 190 to 90, 95 points. Then it will be easier or higher chances to get the state nomination. Jyoti is asking about working in the field as a life scientist since 2 years. What are the chances of getting the state nomination? Jyoti, good chances. I think it just delaying because the state were prioritizing the applicants whose visas were expiring first or someone who is turning 45. So as soon as they change this criteria, then yeah, you have very good chances to get the invitation. Athlete working as a community worker in the field for 2 years, 70 points for 190. So well, good chances being a community worker, but then whether it is 190 or 491, we don't know yet. In general, the community section occupations, like immigration essay, try to push to 491 rather than 190 in a lot of cases. It means I can't mix all working experience together. Now I work 4 months and I go leave 1 month. When I come back, I need to work 2 more months or 6 more months. If the leaves are not paid, then immigration essay can create questions on them. So if it's not paid, then I would recommend 6 months total experience in order to apply for the state nomination. I'm 30 years old. Will that impact my student visa, or I have time till I turn 31? Look, I think it depends on your profile. It's not about just being 30 or 31. A lot of students with the age of only 18, 19, 20 got the visa refusal. So I guess really depends on overall profile you have in order to be understanding to understand the chances of the state, the student visa chances. WS Chef 80 points, 491, 70 or 90. What are the chances? There could be a chance for 491, but not for 190, unfortunately. Getting another question about employment. Is it necessary to be with the same employer? But when I was submitted EOI, can I change employers? Yes, you can absolutely change the employer and you can update that in the EOI. You don't need to be with the same employer. Saurav, I think it's best if you just reach out to one of our offices in Victoria. They will be able to assist with the inquiry. Um, and Shrek, yes, you have good chances. The other way you can boost up your profile is either through English or something else in order to get the 190 invite. Telecommunication network engineer 80 points for 189. Any chances? Less chances at 80 points because it is going to be competitive. More, I think it's going to be a bit difficult if you're going to be on leave for longer time. Um, 4 weeks may be okay, but then as soon as you come back, you need to start working full time. People who are joining now, this is an Ask Aussizz session. this is about skill migration, employer sponsored, any other visas where you can ask your questions and we should be able to understand and answer those questions in our capacity. Sure. Um, I think we are about to meet our time deadline. So if you have any more questions, you are more than welcome to keep posting those questions, and the migration team will be able to still answer those questions on different platforms. If you have any questions, want to understand the process, anything in regards to migration to Australia, you can reach out to our offices. We have an office. We have offices around Australia. So we are covered in Queensland, where we have offices in Brisbane and Gold Coast. We have offices in New South Wales, so Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, and Canberra. So if you're based in Australia doing different things on different visas, reach out to us in any of our offices and we should be able to understand your profile and see how bestly we can assist you with your migration journey. If you're based in South Australia, we have 3 offices here in City, Monster Lake, and Melrose Park. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to book an appointment with our migration team. We have a team of 8 migration agents here in South Australia who can assist you with your migration journey. I look forward to see many of you in our office, but thank you very much for joining in today's session. If you still have any questions, reach out to our office or keep posting it on social media. Thanks for watching and have a good evening and have a good weekend.